So we have a table with information about the weekly earnings of 20 people who work in a shop. And here are their earnings. You'll notice they are given in intervals, class intervals, if you like. And we have the frequencies here. And presumably those frequencies add up to 20. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense. And we're asked to work out an estimate for the mean of the weekly earnings. Well, we know that the mean is the total. So in this case, the total weekly earnings, or the total earnings, over the number of people. Now, how do we work out the total earnings when we don't know the actual earnings? We don't know what that person, this one person here, earns. Well, we're going to use what I call the mid-interval values. Okay, if I can spell that, the mid-interval values. All right, otherwise we haven't got anything to work with. So let's write down the MIVs, the mid-interval values, and we'll work with those. So halfway between 150 and 250 is, thankfully, a nice number. It's 200. And halfway between 250 and 350 is 300. And we've got 400, 500, and 600. So they have been quite nice to us. So how do we work out the total earnings? Well, we take the mid-interval values and we multiply them by the frequencies, because the people in this, or the person rather, in this bracket, there's only one of them. And so that is £200 times 1. And then we add to that the £300 times 11. Okay, so £300 times 11, and then we've got £400 times 5, and then we've got £500 times 0. So I'm not even going to put that one in because 500 times 0 is 0. And we've then got 600 times 3, and that is all divided by 20. So let's just do this slowly. That's 200 for the first one. 300 times 11. Well, 3 times 11 is 33 with the 100. 4 times 5 is 20. 100, so that's 2,000. 6 times 3 is 1,800. There we go, all over 20. And if I add these things up, okay, I've got to do that. So I've got 200, 3,300, 2,000 or 2,000, 1,800, and if I add those up, what do I get? Well, a couple of ways of adding these up. Personally, I would say, look, I've got 2 and 18 is 20, and another 20 is 40, and then the 33 makes 73. So that's 7,300 or 7,300, all over 20. Now I've got to do that. Well, I can cancel a 0 off there, and then it's just 730 over 2. 2's into 7 go 3 times, carry the 1. Let's do this over here somewhere. 2 into 730. How was I doing that? 2 into 7 goes 3, carry the 1. 2 into 13, well, 6 2's are 12, so that's nearly there. Carry the 1. 2 into 5 goes 2 into 10 goes 5 times, so that's £365. And that's the mean earnings. Nadia says this mean, or the mean, may not be the best average to use to represent this information. Okay, well, why not? Let's have a think about that. Do we agree or don't we agree? Well, let's just look at where the mean is in this sort of context. The mean is somewhere in this bracket here. If you look at the table, that's about where the mean is. And if you look, a lot of the people, 12 of the people, are definitely less than the mean, and 8 of the people are above the mean. And in fact, go back to this, look, you've got these 3 people on much more money than everybody else, and unfortunately the mean is affected by those 3 people. So, and the technical name for those 3 people is outliers because they're a long way from everything else. So outliers affect the mean, and so the median might be better. All right, and that might be a better average to use. If, of course, you're trying to represent the majority of the people with the average. You might not be, but there is a good bit of statistical reasoning. If you're not sure what an outlier is, go and look it up.